on the SP, the hypothenar on the mammillary process, or some people say piezoform if you really want to get specific, but hypothenar is fine on the mammillary process. Or, instead of using thumb on the SP, we can actually use this contact. What do we call this?
The hand butt.
The hand butt. That's what I call it. So, you put the SP right in the crack in the hand butt. Some of you have pretty lopsided hand butts or flat hand butts. You need to work on your hand glutes. But this contact gives you a decent amount of padding around that SP. I felt like, and this might happen with you because you're active and athletic, you might have a little bit more tightness on your SPs to where if I push it with my thumbs, it just feels like I'm going to break my thumb. So it's an option. You probably won't, in other sections, they might not even learn that option. I kind of like it if my thumb just feels a little bit too weak to do that. I don't want to stress my thumb. So give yourself a hug. Good. And go ahead and relax in here. Let that low back relax. Just kind of slump forward. There we go. Good. So, we're always going to be pulling the patient towards us. So in this position that I'm in, which rotation am I evaluating? Left rotation. So if I'm evaluating left rotation, which way am I pushing on the SPs?
Away from you.
That way. So I find first lumbar up there. And I got my thumb there. Am I doing rotation right now? Why? Spine's not rotating. So, to rotate the spine, I'm not even going to push really with the thumb until I get here. And then I can push and rotate at the same time. So, I might even grab all the way over on the shoulder here, or grab this arm like this. Really kind of get a handle here. I rotate the spine all the way to the end, and I push through and wiggle. Not me wiggling the spine. I don't do this at the end. So we get to the end, and I just wiggle that joint a little bit. If I'm in this position, which way am I rotating?
Left.
To the left. If we're rotating to the left and I decide to use a hypothenar mammillary contact, which mammillary am I going to be contacting? This one. I can't push here and cause this to happen. I can't push on this side, so I'd have to push there. Is that tender? Flinch. So we're going to be rotating this way and pushing on the mammillaries on this side. So I get my contact. I'm not really doing much pushing. Again, I need to rotate first and push in the end. Rotate all the way, push through at the end. Then if I use this hand butt contact on the SPs, it's going to be less specific than my thumb, but I can feel like I'm on one SP more than the others. Go ahead and slump forward a little bit. There we go. Make sure I can contact. Get my contact on the SPs. I rotate till the end. Push through. So you can relax your arms. Is there going to be a difference from L1 to L2 to L3 to L4 to L5 with regards to how much rotation each? Yes, there is. So what we have to do is remember what it felt like when we rotated to the left on this side, and then when we go to the other side, compare that. Some people are like, oh, memory, oh, that's horrible. Why don't we just do both sides at the same time? Or why don't we just push them into rotation to the other side? It's not as efficient. You can try to do it, and some people will. It's just a little sloppy. So you're probably changing the whole process if you do that. If you pull on both sides, you're kind of standardizing. It's a little bit better. So go ahead and cross your arms. This is how it would look clinically. Go ahead and relax. There we go. Go over on the other side. So there's really not that much time. There's not a huge amount of time lapse. So I know how that felt. And I'm already suspecting, you can relax your arm, but I'm already suspecting that there's something going on. Maybe he can, with gross range of motion, he can rotate to one side a lot more fluidly than the other. So I'm already suspecting maybe a left rotation restriction somewhere. So it's not like I'm just doing a drive-by assessment trying to figure out what's going on. I'm already suspecting there's a particular restriction here or a problem with the low back. So it's not that bad. There is a little memory here. When we do the prone stuff, we can actually test both sides kind of in real time, one right after another. So then we get to lateral flexion. Lateral flexion, we're going to be, with all of these, we're using the same contact in the front. But with lateral flexion, I'm going to use my shoulder on top of his shoulder a little bit so I can get this going. Which is what?
Lateral flexion.
And I'm only going to laterally flex towards me. So I need to do the other lateral flexion, I got to move the other side of the patient. I could potentially do this, but it's sloppy and awkward, and I'm probably not doing it that efficiently, so always laterally flex towards you. So our contact's going to be similar to what we did with rotation. It's going to be on the SP, but instead we're going to laterally flex around our contact and then push through when everything kind of caves in there. So we are pushing on the SP, but it's not causing rotation because we're laterally flexing first, and then we just push through. It's almost like two vertebrae are here. They laterally flex around my thumb, and I push through like that, even though that's impossible because there's not that much space in between the vertebrae. And you go all the way down, and then you test the other side. But what you're doing with the upper body matters quite a bit. I'm really leaning in here to get that lateral flexion. The thumb just comes into play at the very end, all the way down the spine. Like that. Ready to get that? Let's go ahead and do rotation and lateral flexion, and then I'll show you some